Hey, what's up guys? C.stacks here, and we are back again with another opening video. Yes, opening cards. I forgot how good it felt to open cards. Today we're looking at the Spidey-Foes set. We got Sinister 6 stuff to take a look at. Very excited to look at these cards. So let's go ahead and crack her open, huh? I did pretty good on the last video of getting the plastic off. But, oh, there we go. We got it, guys. We got it. People have asked me before why I don't just take the plastic off before the video starts, but like I think it makes it more authentic when you do it on camera. Like I want it to be clear that like I'm opening this with you guys for the first time. You know what I'm saying? Like otherwise I could have just opened it, plan out what I'm gonna say, and then put the cards back in. But I'm gonna take the plastic off with you guys. We're gonna live in the moment. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's do this. So it's the Verse Volume 3, Issue number 2. We got Shocker fighting Spider-Man on the box. Side of the box here. This set comes with the biggest enemies and greatest villains Spider-Man has ever faced. This Spidey-Foes issue expands on the already formidable Sinister Syndicate team with a dastardly collection of infamous villains including Chameleon, Shocker, and Hobgoblin. Let's do it. Alright. Put the box off to the side. Let's look at the rulebook. Hopefully there's no misprints in here. Just hover over it briefly. I'm not going to look too closely at anything. You guys can stop and look if you want. I love that lizard artwork. Looks great. Okay. That's the rule sheet. Let's do it. Okay, so we have Chameleon main character, Chameleon. He's a 3/3/1 health Sinister Syndicate. He's got Sinister 6 keywords, so he's part of the team. And he has Blessing in Disguise. Chameleon has the printed keyword powers of face-up Sinister Syndicate supporting characters on your side. This one I think is great. His stats aren't great, but if you can keep him alive or bring him out at just the right time, this thing gets better and better and better depending on what guys you have out. I think this card is really, really great. I think this one pretty much is always going to make your team. It's always going to make your cut. So yeah, I love that one. Hobgoblin. He's a 7/2 flight 1 health Sinister Syndicate main character. He's Sinister 6. He's ferocious. So in melee combat, he strikes before characters out ferocious. And he's lethal. So when he wounds a defending support character, KO it. We all know those are great words. So I think this card has a place in aggro Sinister 6 builds. I don't think you bring him out first. I think you bring him out in the middle of the game when there's something specific that you need to kill, I think. Like if you need to be able to get around to Jessica Jones, you'll bring this out as your next guy so that you can lethal them. Because he's not going to survive long. He's got that 2 defense, so he's going to get picked off by a ranged attacker pretty easily. So then you're going to bring him out for that specific time you need him, so you can kill that Jessica Jones, you can kill that Miss America, or whatever multi-wounder it is that you need to push through. I think he does have a place somewhere in the middle of the pack. So we have Shocker here. He is a 4/5 range 1 health Sinister 6 guy. He is Vibration Wave. Main blue, push each enemy front row supporting character on a side to its back row. So this card's pretty good. It's kind of he's got decent stats, and he's kind of like a good finisher. So you can push stuff out of the way to get to their main character in the back row or something like that. I think he usually makes your team. I didn't like this card so much. You probably remember I think I talked down on this guy on I can't even remember the name of my own show right now. This Week in Versus. I've been stuck inside so long, you guys. But he is pretty good for finishing off games and making sure that you can get to their main character. So I think that one's pretty good. Beetle, 1 cost, 1/1 flight 1 health. He has climbs. At the start of your main phase, you may exhaust a location on your side to put a counter on him, +1 counter. And then he has Static Electrobite, main blue. Remove each +1/+1 counter on Beetle, then put that many -1/-1 counters on an enemy character he could melee attack. I think this card's bad. In order to get any value out of it, it requires a lot of setup. He gets 1 counter a turn with that climb. So that's not great. You could like wait several turns and try to protect this to get some value out of it. Seems bad. You could burn a Might Make Right on it, which burns 2 cards, a green and your Might Makes Right, to get value out of this. So then you need like this Might Makes Right, green, blue to put like some counters on a guy. And then also it has to be something he could melee attack, which restricts it even more. I think the amount of setup this card requires is just too much. I think there's better ways to deal with big guys, better ways to deal out counters, better way to deal with +1s. Just seems pretty underwhelming to me. We have Trapster. He's a 2 cost, 1/6 range, 1 health, paste gun, combat, red, choose a defender. It is immobile until Trapster leaves play. Immobile is the one that means it can't move during its formation step, and I've always been pretty underwhelmed with that power. Although it does stay until Trapster leaves play, so if you could protect him, maybe you get some value out of it. I don't know. I'll have to be convinced on this card. I'm not convinced on it yet. A card that I absolutely love the artwork, love the power, love everything about this card. Card's great. Is 3 cost Hydro Man. He is a 5/3, 2 health Sinister Syndicate. He's a Man of Water. When Hydro Man is affected by freeze, KO him. Remains on while he's face down. So kind of a downside, but good flavor. And his second power is awesome. His Fluid Tactics. If Hydro Man would gain any amount of attack from a combat plot twist, you may have him gain that much defense instead, or vice versa. So, hard to kill. You can make big defense pumps for him, big attack pumps. He makes your Chameleon main character really strong, because then he can do that. In fact, I wonder if... No, that's a superpower. I was just looking to see if any of the other cards I already poo-pooed on get better when I consider Chameleon, but not really. But I think this card's really, really great with Chameleon. Another card that's great with Chameleon and like everything, like this card's going to be meta defining. Let's take a look at Speed Demon. I built a deck with that revolves around this card for Spider Month. I'll link that in the description below. And I think this is the reason you're not going to see much Hydro Man, because this is just this, because he's also a 3-drop and this card's insane. So let's take a look at Speed Demon. He's a 4/5, 1 health. He has Run Like the Devil. When Speed Demon attacks the first time each turn, ready him at the end of the combat. When Speed Demon attacks each additional time each turn, if the Grandmaster is face up on your side, Speed Demon, ready Speed Demon at the end of the combat. So if you're not playing Grandmaster, you're going to get 2 swings out of this guy. If you are playing Grandmaster, you technically get infinite swings out of this guy as long as you can keep him alive. And like this with Solo seems insane. Any other kind of pumps seem insane. This with Combat Master, so your opponent can't play Plot Twist, seem insane. So like Danger Room with this guy, you could potentially clear a board with this. Be on the lookout for Speed Demon decks in upcoming formats. Won't say too much more because people have already been hyped about this card. I did a deck revolving around this card, which I'll link in the description down below. Card seems great, to say the least. Another great, amazing card, kind of a staple card people are hyping it up to be, and I do not disagree. We have 4-cost Boomerang. He's a 2/4, fight range, 1 health, Sinister Syndicate. Those stats are a little bit of a bummer, but once you read this guy, you will understand. He's got so many words. So he has Specialized Boomerang once per turn during your main phase, but not during combat. You may choose a boomerang this character hasn't thrown yet. Then choose an enemy front row and back row character, and he can do Bladerang. Put a -1 counter on each of them. Gasorang, they lose keyword powers this turn. Gravity Rang, they can't ready on their next turn. Razorang, they lose superpowers this turn. Reflexorang, daze them. Screamerang, they can't strike back this turn. And Shatterang, KO and equipment on each of them. This card has just so much utility to deal with boards, to get rid of counters, to shrink guys down, to freeze guys, to daze them, to do whatever thing you need to deal with. Boomerang is your guy. So obviously he's understated because you can't have a guy that's just this overtly strong, and then also he's like a 5/5 or something like that. I don't know. This card's great. You're probably going to see 2 to 3 to 4 of this in almost every deck. Some people are going to be like, no, it doesn't go in every deck. Okay, I get it. I understand. All right, it's hyperbole. This card will go in quote unquote every deck. This card's a quote unquote staple. I understand that there are exceptions. Don't comment down below. Anyway, I think this card's great. You're going to see this in just about everything. It's kind of the next quote-unquote staple card. It's an out to counters. It's an out to nullifier. It's an out to all kinds of stuff you're going to have problems with. Definitely consider packing Boomerang into your deck. The utility on this one card is insane. Great card. We have Hobgoblin, 4 cost, another 4-drop to compete with Boomerang. He is a 5/5, 1 health, Sinister Syndicate, nothing without the Green Goblin. While Green Goblin is face up on your side, Hobgoblin has his printed keyword and superpower, so he copies the Green Goblin. And then he has lethal, so when he wounds a defending supporting character, KO it. This card, I think, is super meh. Super meh. You could do some cool things with him in Old Green Goblin. I think Old Green Goblin is terrible, though. I think this is good in that deck, quote-unquote good. I still think that card. I still think Old Green Goblin is pretty bad, though. It's pretty rough, but being able to do his Sadistic Choice, I think it's called, ability, the yellow ability, twice per turn, seems very good. In Sinister 6, I think this card's pretty bad, pretty underwhelming. He doesn't have flight by himself. He has to steal it from the Green Goblin main character. Green Goblin main character only has 1 health, so you have to protect him to be able to get much value out of this. I just don't think it's worth it. I think Boomerang's obviously a better 4 cost. Sandman that the Sinister Syndicate has is better 4-drop if you're playing mono. If you're not playing mono, play something like Massacre or something instead. He's a better lethal guy than this. I just think this card's kind of underwhelming. I actually remember liking this card, but people telling me that it was bad and some people telling me it was good. I don't remember what this does, though. I just remember liking it. We have 5 cost Shocker, 8/3 range, 1 health, Safecracker. Main red, turn an enemy location face down. If you do draw a card, it already says draw a card on it, so I already like it. And then he has cover your cracks. Main blue, if you turn an enemy location face down this turn, KO a face down resource on your side. So to get to KO the resource, you do have to have a red and a blue, kind of expensive. Just the red ability, though, I think is okay. I mean, I guess like if they know you're playing Shocker, they'll just play around it and use their powers before or something. But like turning a thing down and drawing a card, I like that. 1 health is kind of rough with 3 but he does have range. I don't know. We'll have to see with this card. I like drawing cards. I like screwing my opponent over. I like it. I'll go on the record as to say I like it. Another card I remember liking a lot. I also love the artwork on Tombstone. I love this. We have 6-drop Tombstone. He's a 7/6 range, 1 health, cold as ice. Tombstone is unaffected by freeze. Pretty cool. Hard as marble. Any turn combat, green. Choose an enemy character in the combat. They can't strike this combat. I'm sure there's better 6-cost guys you can play, but that's a pretty good card. For green, he can't be struck, which is nice, especially on the defensive when they try to swing in and take him out. And just look at the artwork. Look at those guns. I like the artwork on this card. You guys know I'm a stickler. I always complain about artwork when I don't like it, so I'm going to try to praise artwork now when I do like it. Oh, speaking of which, here's Lizard. I love the artwork on this Lizard. I don't know why. I like it. We have 7-cost Lizard. He's a 9/5, 2 health Berserker, so when he attacks you, give him a counter. Ferocious, he strikes before things without Ferocious, and Regeneration, so you heal a wound from him at the start of your turn if he's face up. Lots of good words on this guy. 7 cost is tough because Jungle Hunter is on 7 and is evil. Ares is on 7. You have a lot of competition on 7. In Mono Sinister 6, I think you probably play this. I think this is better than, I think Green Goblin is their 7 cost, which is like blue strike a guy. I think this is clearly better than Green Goblin. So in Mono, I think, yeah, you'll definitely see this. We got the Kurt Connors card spoiled recently, which involves this, so he might see play there. But that's not legal in Good versus Evil, and I don't think that ever sticks. I don't think you're ever going to resolve the Kurt Connors ability that brings this guy out. I think you might draw some cards with him for Genius, but you're never going to bring out Lizard with that. But card has great artwork. Card has all good words on him. He's 2 health. He's big. You can probably play him in Mono Sinister 6. Solid 7-drop. All right. Got some plot twists. We have Concealed Firearm. Any turn combat, choose a defender on your side in the combat. They gain range and +1 attack this combat. I just call this the anti-solo card. I don't think this card's going to see a lot of play. I think it's very niche, right? It could be a blowout in the right situation, but a lot of times it just doesn't do enough. So we'll have to see on this, because I do think it will be a blowout in certain situations. If we see ranged heavy guys being really crucial, maybe you do see this show up. We'll have to see. I think it's a good enough card, and depending on the matchup, it could be exactly what you need. So depending on what certain metas turn out to be like, this card could actually be important. So we'll have to see. I love the artwork on it also. I always love Spider-Man Noir. And then we have, which one is this one? Teamwork makes the scheme work. Main, ready, up to 6 Sinister Syndicate characters on your side. It only works for Sinister Syndicate guys. You guys probably saw my Sinister Syndicate deck. I don't think these ones are all that worth playing, but just the fact that they exist means you get to use them with Mysterio, which is cool. So I do like these cards are a thing. And then we have working together, how can we fail? Put a +1 counter on up to 6 Sinister Syndicate characters on your side. So it's just kind of, it's both a worse Loyal Soldiers and a better Loyal Soldiers because you don't have to have only one team affiliation to activate it, so in that way it's better. But it only affects up to 6 Sinister Syndicate guys, so in that way it's worse. Again, I don't think you play this in the main deck usually, but if you play Mysterio, you have access to these just by the fact that they exist, which is cool. And then one of the coolest cards ever printed is Secret Hideout. Secret Hideout. So here we go. Special location. Family is a source of weakness. When you play this location, choose a face-up Sinister Syndicate main character on your side to take a hostage. I wish I'd pulled out some of the friends and family cards. You know, I might have them here. So what the hostage pile is it consists of guys, the one cost, one-of-a-kind friend and family dudes from the Spider-Friends team. I'm going to pull a couple of them out here so we can make this example work. We'll just go with J. Jonah Jameson. So the Spider-Friends team have these one-of-a-kind guys that have friends and family, which gives powers to Spider-Friends characters. So if J. Jonah Jameson here, he says, Spider-Friends characters protecting this card have lethal. So when you play your Secret Hideout and take a hostage, you take one of these guys out of your hostage pile, and then it gives powers. It gives your Sinister 6 guy the power that your hostage gives the Spider-Friends. So in case of J. Jonah Jameson, if you take J. Jonah Jameson as a hostage, he would give lethal to your main character. And I just realized that the character I chose already has lethal. So we'll do Shocker. So if, say, Shocker's my main character, I play Secret Hideout. I get to choose which hostage I want to take. I choose J. Jonah Jameson from my hostage pile. It doesn't say what you do with this, but I would put it underneath my Secret Hideout or something. Or maybe you put it underneath your character. That probably makes sense too. And then he gives your Shocker lethal while you have that as a hostage. So I think this card's great. Unfortunately, you cannot play in the good versus evil format because you can't bring the hostage pile because they're all good. But in the future, I think you'll definitely see this card see play. It just gets better and better as more friends and family dudes are printed. Like we saw Gwen Stacy, who gives Ferocious, I think, and Harry Osborn, who gives Wealthy. So this card just gets better and better as more friends and family are spoiled, are released. So yeah, so that is the Spidey-Foes set. Secret Hideout is great. These plot twists are okay. Really good with Mysterio to have the utility, though. I like Lizard. I like Tombstone. I like Shocker. Hobgoblin's meh. Boomerang is amazing. Speed Demon is amazing. Hydro Man's really good. These 1s and 2s are meh. 2 of these main characters I like a lot. 1 I think is okay. Overall, good set. Really good set. I think Sinister 6, you will continue to see them be a force to be reckoned with, especially in the good versus evil format. I think they're super, super relevant. And you'll continue to see them be relevant in any format they are legal in for a while to come. Very excited for the next set, which is, I don't remember the name of it. I think it's called Webheads. Webheads, I believe, is the name of that set, which has the Spider-Friends stuff in it. And I love the Spider-Friends team, so very excited for that. So stay tuned for that. I hope everybody's staying safe and healthy and staying inside and not losing their minds. I've been going a little crazy being stuck in the house, but it's cool to have new cards to mess with and experiment with and do some theory crafting with. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.